Good morning. Thank you, President Bowman. Thank you, members of the City Council. To all of the other elected officials and city employees that are here or are watching, I want to thank all of you for your service and your commitment to the City of Jacksonville. To the citizens of Jacksonville, thank you for this opportunity to work with you and guide our city forward to a prosperous future. To the children and young people here with us, and those who may be watching, thank you for participating. We are here to give you a city where you see your dreams become a reality, and we invite you to work with us. There are also a few other special guests that I'll recognize today during this address. My enthusiasm as a fan of our Jacksonville Jaguars, especially during last season's playoff run, is well known. While serving as mayor, though, I met a new friend whose support for our team is even greater than my own. Jason Hamilton, known to many as Moose, represents the best of what can be accomplished by someone with a strong support system, people who care, a positive attitude, and personal determination to excel. Jason demonstrates that anyone can beat the odds and defy outdated expectations. In doing so, he serves our community and brings acclaim to himself and to our city. Jason is an advocate on the board of directors for the ARC Jacksonville, where he helps raise tens of thousands of dollars each year. And he has spoken before the National Organization of Disabilities, National Down Syndrome Society, and Down Syndrome Association of Jacksonville. With that experience in public speaking and advocacy, many of you have probably seen him on television, I'm proud that my friend Moose agreed to spend the day with me and give me some pointers for this address. Thank you, Moose, for being here and setting a great example for all of us. Moose, would you mind standing so everyone... Today, for the fourth time since becoming mayor, I am laying before City Council, before this body, our city's budget for the year ahead. This financial blueprint, like each of my budgets before this one, reflects the core principles that have guided me and continue to guide me as mayor. As the final budget before I seek re-election, it demonstrates the actions that keep the promises I have made to the people of our city. Like each budget I've offered, my fiscal year 19 budget fulfills a legal mandate to be balanced, and it keeps the promise I made by doing so without raising taxes. The budget is fiscally prudent by reducing city debt. In fact, since 2015, we've reduced our total outstanding debt by $292 million, resulting in more than $20 million per year in debt service savings. This budget respects the fact that every dollar we spend comes from the hard-working taxpayers and ensures that the financial experts that rate our fiscal management see that our city is in a strong position to grow and thrive. This budget keeps a commitment that we make public safety the first priority for Jacksonville. It continues reforms for children's programs to ensure the safety net for our kids is strong. This budget continues to eliminate a decade-long backlog of infrastructure needs across the entire city. And it advances new ideas that will make it easier for businesses to grow and for entrepreneurs to create jobs while they innovate. As I've said on many occasions, if there is one violent crime in Jacksonville, one violent crime, that is one too many. So gangs and criminals must be confronted with a well-trained, properly equipped police force. That is why the fiscal year 19 budget increases the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office budget by more than $30 million. In addition to the 180 new JSO officers already budgeted, restoring the cuts made in previous administrations and adding more positions, this budget begins to bring online a real-time crime center in Jacksonville. This system, along with our earlier commitments of ShotSpotter and ballistics database technology NIBIN, allows Sheriff Williams and his team to have tools that prevent crime and solve crimes that occur faster. Along with the partnership of State Attorney Nelson, these moves continue putting in place the policies that make our streets and neighborhoods safer. Also important for safety is having fire and rescue professionals in the right places ready to respond. This fiscal year 19 budget increases the JFRD budget by more than $17 million. This allows us to add what is already hundreds of new firefighter positions, new fire stations, and additional rescue response teams across Jacksonville. The budget completes a process to ensure stations are added all across our growing city, and that rescue units are located in every single fire station. These investments reduce call response times and save lives. While on the topic of public safety, let me take a moment to thank our first responders for their work while this city recently faced 2 life-threatening storms. Alongside police and fire were the men and women of JEA and city departments who go out on our streets for the work of restoration in the aftermath of these storms. We have rebounded well, and on behalf of the grateful city, thanks to all of you. Another important aspect of public safety is investing in vulnerable communities and creating a path that takes our children toward prosperity and away from danger. During my walks in some of our city's most vulnerable areas, I've met teenagers, children, who see carrying a gun or committing a crime as a natural progression for their lives. I've met children younger than my own who worry about their own safety. I've met children younger than my own who've seen things and experienced things no adult should have to see or experience. I've helped weeping mothers whose kids were lost in the crossfire of gang battles. These experiences show me that we must continue our work with young people. We must help them see there are possibilities that are larger than what they currently see or believe. We must break the cycle of violence and hopelessness. Thank you.
You bet.
These needs were the motivation for a reform effort that created the Kids Hope Alliance. Working together, council members, we have streamlined old ideas and created an organization that has one clear mission: protecting the children of the city of Jacksonville. These are our children. Thank you for helping me accomplish this important change. Less than 100 days since then, our newly appointed Chief Executive Officer, Joe Peppers, along with our passionate and dedicated KHA Board, which is a group of community leaders and stakeholders, have risen above expectations and transformed the services available to Jacksonville's at-hope youth and families. The Kids Hope Alliance will have a fiscal year 19 budget of $41.4 million. And among the efforts this will fund, let me highlight a few. This budget makes a $1.7 million investment to help make Duval County schools the safest environments for Jacksonville's youth by ensuring mental health and wellness support is both accessible and personal. Kids Hope Alliance has partnered with the Duval County Public Schools, the United Way of Northeast Florida, and our full-service schools partners to add more than 60 additional therapists to Duval County schools this school year. These additional therapists will dramatically increase the capacity for one-on-one and campus-wide opportunities for personal growth and positive mental health conversations. In total, this budget will increase the number of students participating in the Kids Hope Alliance funded programs by 10% annually. Through KHA, we will continue programs to give young people access to summer jobs and experiences that can lead to careers. Right now, there are hundreds of young people working in our city as a result of these programs. And to understand how special the young people of Jacksonville are and what they can become, let me introduce Tanisha McGuimi and Emmanuel Brinkley. While in high school, Tanisha reached out to my staff to express her concern for fellow young people. She wanted to help. It was that simple. So she became involved in the Mayor's Young Leaders Advisory Council. Today, Tanisha is a rising sophomore at Harvard and hopes to attend law school so that maybe she can open her own practice. This summer, I'd like to add that Tanisha is an intern in our finance department, where she's winning raves for her professionalism and hard work. Tanisha, thank you for spending your summer in service to our city, and if you wouldn't mind standing so people can... Thank you. Earlier this year in the spring, I was invited to throw the first pitch at the Florida State baseball game. Having shoulder problems, I decided to share the honor with a young person who's demonstrating the best of our city. With a recommendation from the Boys and Girls Club, Emmanuel Brinkley joined me on the mound. He's an exceptional student at Lee High School with a 4.0 GPA, is recognized for his character and compassion, and having spent some time with him, I can tell you that is real. He has vast musical talent as well, and many other accolades. On that day, despite the pressure of the noise in the crowd, he rolled up to the mound like it was a piece of cake, and he threw a great strike right over the plate. Emmanuel, thank you for joining us and being here today. If you wouldn't mind, please, so people can recognize you. By investing in our kids and supporting programs that support them, we will have many more stories like those of these young people, and that is good for our city and our future. Also for young people and for our families, this budget includes money to expand library hours, add additional personnel, add additional personnel, and $850,000 for new materials. Even more exciting is $2.5 million to purchase land and begin the addition of the new Ocean Way Library. You will see substantial investment in our parks and recreation system, including additional maintenance personnel in the department, millions for upgrades to facilities, including the iconic Friendship Fountain, and funds for docks and boat launch repairs. Our library and park systems are assets that contribute to our quality of life, and I am committed to continuing seeing them succeed. My commitment to infrastructure and public spaces is best reflected in the administration's capital improvement plan. The CIP, which had been zero before I took office, was valued at $72.6 million in my first budget. This proposed fiscal year 19 CIP has doubled in value and is now at $161.4 million. Among the long list of projects in the CIP are the following. $12.3 million for countywide road resurfacing, an issue I hear about every time I visit a Rotary Club. $9.5 million for sidewalk repairs, new sidewalks, and curb sidewalk ADA compliance construction funding. $2.75 million for new pedestrian crossings and other pedestrian safety improvements. $6 million of additional drainage system rehabilitation funding. This is in addition to approximately $25.2 million of drainage projects currently under design or in construction. $12.5 million city match of a $12.5 million state of Florida appropriation for the removal of the Hart Bridge Commodore Point Expressway through the sports and entertainment complex, a project that will transform our downtown and unleash billions of dollars in economic development. A commitment to healthcare in this community with a $120 million 6-year capital improvement program for UF Health city-owned facility improvements. Fiscal year 19 funding is budgeted at $15 million with follow-on year funding of $20 and $25 million per year. In total, there are $60.3 million from McCoy's Creek Emerald Necklace development, a 4-year project for roadway, bridge, flooding improvements, ash remediation, and greenway amenity development. Fiscal year 19 funding for this effort is budgeted at $13.1 million. This is a joint public works, park, and recreation project aimed at maximum coordination amongst various project components and minimizing the cost of design and construction through design and construction sequencing of the various program components. $1.5 million for capital improvements for the Clara White Mission Harvest Farms project, for development of a farmer's market, a greenhouse, and an educational facility. This program to provide fresh food options in a community in which fresh, affordable food is difficult to obtain, and offer job training and creation for homeless and low-income veterans. After researching abandoned African American cemeteries in the city, my budget includes a $10.8 million three-year program for restoring abandoned African American cemeteries that are in shameful conditions. Fiscal year 19 funding for this effort is budgeted at $2.5 million, focused on Pinehurst, Memorial, Sunset, Hillside, and Mount Olive cemeteries. This budget includes a 5-year, $25 million program, $5 million per year, commencing in fiscal year 19, for capital improvements at the city-owned Jacksonville Zoo. The Jacksonville Zoo will be required to match this funding each year for a total capital improvement program of $50 million. The CIP has a number of important technology plans funded that will streamline the operations of our government and make it easier for citizens to interact and access information. The fiscal year 19 budget will also be augmented by the recent proposal of JEA's CEO Aaron Zahn's offer to convert the proceeds of a recent real estate transaction directly into funds that can help move remaining communities off of septic, fulfilling promises made decades ago and helping reduce the environmental impact of outdated septic systems. Thank Aaron and the JEA for this plan and look forward to the board approval. I believe and remain committed to a downtown development plan. A vibrant urban core serves as a hub, pushing economic development outward to every neighborhood. So this budget includes $2.5 million for replenishing the Downtown Economic Development Fund for jobs and residential-focused initiatives. Its new funding will increase the fund balance to approximately $2.9 million. As downtown investment activity is increasing, 2 additional staff positions at the Downtown Investment Authority are included in this budget to help expedite development deals while ensuring a return on investments and protection of taxpayer funds. And speaking of downtown economic development, I was pleased to announce that as of Monday, July 16th, the Berkman 2 building on East Bay Street has a new owner. We understand the redevelopment of the site will entail a recognizable flag hotel, a family entertainment center, and a parking garage. Since I became mayor in 2015, this was a goal for me, and I'm excited to see this project complete to redevelopment. Downtown in Jacksonville is on the move. Added to our plans for the shipyards, Lot J, the district on the South Bank, the core developments like the Lower Street Trio, as well as the potential we see in a new Riverfront Plaza, we see a growing, vibrant downtown for Jacksonville is possible, and it is now within our reach. The excitement isn't just limited to downtown. Whether it's the growing mixed-use lifestyle of the town center, the innovative companies coming to Cecil Field, or the increased occupancy of hotels around our beaches, we are seeing success all over Jacksonville. Our general fund budget for fiscal year 19 will be just over $1.2 billion, which is an increase of almost $33 million. The programs I've highlighted and all the additional items in this budget position us well for the future. We are investing in ways to prepare us to grow, yet we have the reserves and the contingencies that demonstrate we can sustain unforeseen challenges. And all of this, every priority achieved or promise kept, is the result of 2 things. First and foremost, the sweat and hard work of the people who support us, the hardworking taxpayer of Jacksonville, who also empower us to serve them. And of course, the pension reform solution we implemented together with the support of the people of Jacksonville. As I've been up here with you this morning, there are two charts set up to my left, and they visually demonstrate a simple truth. Without pension reform, and without the effort to provide a long-term solution, we would not have the ability to make any of these vital investments in our city. Public safety personnel, infrastructure improvements, programs for our kids, millions and millions of dollars would have been diverted away from making our city better. Council, as you consider this budget, remember the successes we've had together and think about how much more we can achieve. Yes, there will always be cynics and naysayers. As we see throughout history's humankind's most revered successes and the people who shepherded them, they were surrounded by those who owned fear or weakness makes them root against good ideas. The best among us are those who have pushed past the critics, whether over, under, around, or straight through the middle of, they push on. There is no time to waste. Good can always be better, and better can be transformed into the best. The city we love and the people we serve are ready to push. Jacksonville is a city on the rise, and if we keep doing the work, then the best is yet to come. Always. Thank you.